What if I tell you that your newly born kid can be a landlord with 5 properties by the time he's 20 years old with only £100,000 investment today? That's what I'm going to show you in today's video. Stay tuned! If I can change my life, so can you. Subscribe to my channel and I show you how. My name is Fabrizio Cravero and this channel is all about property investment for UK and overseas investors. I made a strong statement. Your newly born kid can be a landlord with 5 properties by the time he's 20 years old with only £100,000 investment today. Wow! I imagine that you may find it hard to believe. I was actually shocked myself when I checked the numbers, but that's what I discovered when I became uncle myself. My sister gave birth of a beautiful girl called Gioia, and of course, not having kids myself, I want the best for her. So now I have 2 passions. I love Gioia, my niece, and I'm passionate for property investment. How can I use my property investment knowledge to create a brighter future for Gioia? I can invest in property today and pass the portfolio to her 20 years later. I love numbers and I started to make some calculation, knowing that property investment becomes extremely profitable over time. And Gioia, same as your kids, they have time. Why do I talk about time? Because property investment through compounding becomes extremely powerful over time. The key is the power of compounding. Albert Einstein described compounding as the 8th wonder of the world. Practically, money that money makes more money, and that money makes even more money. I know it's a bit confusing, but look at this. If the property price rises 5% per year in average, and by the way, that's what's happened over the previous 50 years, this £100,000 property won't be worth £195,000 20 years later, but £252,000 instead. How can it be possible? Because the 5% growth is compounded annually, and that, combined with time, makes the number growing more and more. That's why I said the kids are in the privileged position of having time. That said, if you as parent, you do the same as I'm doing for my niece Gioia, you invest in one property worth £100,000 today on the very first day of his life, then 20 years later, you will pass to your kid not one property, but 5 properties worth £1.25 million. And you don't even need to work too hard. If you want to put a slightly bigger effort, you can create even a bigger portfolio. Let me show you how. According with my experience, based on my portfolio, there are areas in UK where you can buy a property worth £100,000 and achieve a monthly net rental income of £500. If you want to have a better idea of one of my properties, you can check this super short video up here, where you can see all the numbers in less than a minute. Look, even without forcing the appreciation, as I usually do through the BRRRR strategy, you can buy a property for your kids with £100,000 and collect £6,000 net per year. Now, let's say that you don't bother to remortgage it and you just hold this property for 5 years. And then at the end of the 5th year, you will have enough money to buy the second property for your kids with a mortgage, simply by using the money from the rent that you collect. You will now own 2 properties, one owned outright, that will continue to produce an income of £6,000 net per year. And probably more actually because of the inflation. But let's stay very conservative with the assumption. And then the second property with the mortgage, that after you pay the interest, and I'm talking about the interest-only mortgage, there is a good video here to learn more about the interest-only mortgage, this property will produce a net income of £200 per month. Meaning that in total you will collect £8,400 net per year. And again, let's say that you continue like that, you will be busy raising your kid So you won't have extra time to grow the portfolio faster, and you will just collect the rent for the next 5 years. And at the end of year 10, you will have £42,000 in the bank account to buy another property with the mortgage. And of course, the rents will increase, but to stay very conservative, let's assume that you will still collect the same amount of rent. Therefore, now that you own one property outright and two with the mortgage, you will collect £10,800 net per year. So 5 years later, you continue with the same process, and on year 15, you will own one property outright and three with the mortgage. And then, at the end of year 20, when probably your kid will graduate, you can pass a portfolio of 5 properties, one fully owned and 4 with the mortgage. Isn't it amazing? The graduation gift for your kid will be a portfolio of 5 properties with a total value of £1.25 million, producing a net yearly income of £15,000 and £600. And actually more, because the rent will have increased over the years. What a lucky kid! That's the power of property investment when you give it time. Time to compound, time to grow. But you know what? The most valuable thing you will pass to your kid, and I will pass to my niece, is the best financial lesson that they could ever learn. They will experience firsthand the power of compounding, the importance of planning and knowledge. I always talk about money, about investment, but those that knows me can confirm it to you that I honestly believe that there is nothing more valuable than a life lesson. Your kids not only will definitely be much more wealthy than the majority of their friends, but they will be more smart. They will know how to build, increase, and keep their wealth. I'm reading the book The Richest Man in Babylon. Amazing book that I definitely suggest you to read. And if you don't like to read, no problem. I will also do a video on that. And the third and the fourth law states, make thy gold multiply. Guard thy treasure from loss. That's what you want to teach to your kids. How to make money working for them, and absolutely fundamental, my favorite, don't lose money. On this note, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one, and I can only repeat my motto. Please invest with knowledge, create financial freedom, and I'll see you in the next video.